Hey, welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking. Please don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice. And if you would, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, Tesla. We are rocking and rolling here. It's about 7:15 a.m. Eastern Time, 7:16. Um, we got a warning. Grandpa's going to give you a warning. And I'm going to make my point why. Now, if you listen to Grandpa at all, you know Grandpa's very bullish on Tesla. Um, in the next few months here, okay. Well, even in the next year, whatever. And the sky is the limit for Tesla. But that doesn't mean that you should necessarily buy right at this point. Well, of course, any place you buy Tesla is a good place to buy Tesla, but you want to buy it if you have an opportunity to buy it for $100 less. You probably want to do that, or $70 less. Wouldn't be a bad thing. So that being said, I want to go through, uh, talk about pivot points a little bit, where we can potentially end up on the bottom side, and why Grandpa feels in the very near term here we are going to take a substantial dip down, potentially. Well, your choices are this, in Grandpa's opinion, and I'll make my case for it. 285 is a possibility. Right, currently we have 321, 321.40 was our low the other day, and do I think that's going to be our new bottom pivot point? No, I don't. I think it's going to be a fake out. We had a low on, that was on Tuesday night. On Wednesday, the lowest we could get down to was 322.50. Now that gives you hope. Well, it's making a higher low. Okay, keep in mind potential fake out here. Okay, um, and what Grandpa's seeing is a huge gap down coming soon. They do the same thing over and over, and I see a pattern here, big time pattern. Um, While looking for a new bottom pivot, they want you to think it will come back up shortly. Okay, misdirection. Um, Probably in the green. I what Grandpa sees for today. I'll tell you exactly what I see for today. We closed in the green yesterday, at 3:30.24 in the green. I I believe our fair opening price today is 332.50. We hit that at 4:10 a.m. It went up to 4:30. Our fair opening price is 332.50 for today. Okay, and we hit 333 on the dot at 4:10 a.m. this morning. And currently we're dipping down. Okay, um, but I don't believe the sky is falling yet. We have the PPI report coming out at 8:30 this morning, and I anticipate closing within pennies of 330.24. Most likely slightly in the green. I've seen this pattern over and over and over. giving you hope to hang on. There's people hanging on to their shares that bought up at 360, 350, 340, okay, and they're hanging on because the future is bright, okay? But when this thing dips to 257, they're going to panic. They're going to panic at 300. I'm down $40, $50 on my shares. I'm going to bail. And they want you to bail. But all that being said, we all have to make our own decisions where we buy and where we sell. Okay? I've said many times, anywhere you buy Tesla is a buying opportunity. But you want to buy as low down as you possibly can. And Grandpa, and you don't want to get stuck up here. If you're playing big money, buying a lot of shares, you do not want to get stuck up here. I'm singing the tune right now. And I'm going to go through some of the past pivot points to help make my case. But where Grandpa thinks we're going today, I think we're going to close above the 330.24. So if you get a dip down to 323, 320, or 323, 324, 325, and you want to go long and make $4 or $5, you go right up, right ahead. Grandma will probably do that. Grandpa, on the other hand, is anticipating. What I'm going to probably do is pray. I prayed yesterday for a bounce up, but I would have liked to have gone short in 347 area. Okay, it never went near it. Okay. I was wishful thinking on Grandpa's part to get the short up that high, because I'm looking for 257. I'm looking for 257. I believe that 285, where we have potential support, is not going to hold us. I think we're going to fight it out, and they're going to make us think we have a chance in the 270 area of turning around, and I think they're going to take us all the way to 257 with a WICK possibly down as far as 250. That's what I really believe. In the very near term here, keep in mind, I'm extremely bullish on. I don't know anybody that's more bullish on Tesla than me. I think we're going to hit 100,000 a share. Okay. And at that point, it won't matter. But it will matter if you bail out of your shares and or I see a dip down as an opportunity to buy one more share. If you're just doing a few shares, just buy one more share and ride this thing out. Okay. Don't let them beat you out of it. And okay, so let's look at these pivot points. So in the past, you have what's called bottom pivot points and you have top pivot points. And usually from the time that it makes a bottom pivot point or a top pivot point, by the time you know that Grandpa can calculate and figure out that this was it, okay, it's already moved 50, 60 bucks or 40 bucks or 30 bucks in the opposite direction, okay? But there's a story to be told by what they do, okay? And there's a pattern. Okay, so let's go back in time here. back in time, we had a bottom pivot point of 182. 182, okay? And after that, we had, and really, truthfully, you should write this down. You should write it down where these are at so that you can look at them and see what they do and how they go about it, okay? Now, back in this time period, things were running tighter in Tesla. The other thing is we're losing volume every day. Our volume is dropping substantially. It causes divergence, okay? Tesla is way overbought, and it will correct at some time. It can run and just keep running, okay, but for a long time sometimes. But more often than not, it will correct itself. It always does at some point, okay? And that's another reason I feel that we're going to get a rug pull big time shortly. By shortly, I mean could be a day, could be 3 days. They might run us sideways here for a while. They put you to sleep after a while sometimes. Sometimes they run sideways for a month. But I don't think we have that kind of timeline. I think with the election coming and things are going to change, and it's going to be a battle when Elon and the WICK get in there with Trump and they start doing regulations, and they're already fighting against Trump's appointments, Matt Gaetz and Hegseth, and the rhinos are coming out, and it's going to be a battle for his appointments. When the new administration gets in there, they're going to have a time of uncertainty, you know. There's and it will create a little bit of uncertainty in the market is what I'm saying. Grandpa's got to take some coffee. Okay, so this thing don't get too long. I'm on a 5-minute chart, by the way. We have a buy signal in the 1 minute currently and a sell in the 5. Okay, minute charts. Okay, so bottom pivot point 182, and then we went up and we made a top pivot point at 228.55. She bounced up fairly good. Okay. But during that period of time, once it hit 228.55, it dropped back down about 10-15 bucks in the 210 area, and it looked like we had a ray of hope. It dropped back down, in the 2.7 area, say, and then it made then we closed. Then we made a green day. We made a green day. Okay, we closed in the green, up a buck or so. A ray of hope. Okay, ray of hope. Off of that 228. Okay, then almost the next day or the day after, we closed within pennies of that number. Okay. And then after that, they took us down to our next new low pivot point, which was 202.36. So we dropped from 228.55 to 202.36. So now we have a new low pivot point, and people took a beating. Okay, they went. We dropped $26, which is a small amount, but back then we were running a tighter range. And then from 202.36, okay, they took us up to 265 so fast your eyes will water. We gapped up. She ran like a wild staircase. Always goes up like a staircase, right? When Tesla goes up, it goes up. 265. So from 202 to 265. So we went up $63 like lightning. Okay. And it was a battle there. People bought a ton of shares there. Everybody would love to buy shares there right now. All right. And what did they do? They took us down into the 230, 240 range, and they stagnated us there. Okay. And they started making they made some lows in the 230 range. Then they gave us we started making a green day. Oh boy, we got a green day. And then the next day, so verily green by pennies, by pennies. There's a pattern here, folks. Grandpa's telling you there's a pattern here. They give you your green day. They might even give you 3 green days sometimes. Just so verily. Just so verily. A little bit higher low. Oh, it made a higher low. You know, we got a green day. It's optimistic. Okay. It's the game they play. And they took us from 265, and then they snapped us down to 212.11. 212.11 was your next bottom pivot point. Okay, Grandpa tracks all this stuff. I'm psychotic. But anyway, so they take us down to 212.11. Okay, at this point, Grandpa's wondering, is 212.11 going to be the new bottom pivot point? Grandpa's singing it. Will it be? I do it every time. Is this going to be the new bottom pivot? Because I don't know. I don't know until we start getting the move back up. And the move back up is so dramatic. When they take off, it's $30, $50. I think from 212 up, I think we went all the way to 260 before it mellowed out. Okay, just to mellow out a little bit. It was like $61 move that it went up from I think it went to 263 before it mellowed out. So so now we're down there with a new bottom pivot point of 212.11. Okay, and where did we get our top pivot point? We got it at 273.70. 273.70. And what did they do to us then? So now we're up here. We have a new top pivot point at 273.70, and it's bounced off of it, and it's coming back down, and we're in the mid 250 area. And everybody's wondering, it's a good thing we got a healthy retracement. That's what everybody's singing. We got a healthy retracement, and that's true. It is a healthy retracement. Is this going to change now? Are we on our way back up? And then what do you get? Oh, we got a green day. We got a green day in Tesla. And then the next day or day after, we get another green day by pennies. By pennies. okay, and everybody's singing, we're off to the races again here. We're off to the races again. And keep in mind, you're in the 250 range when they're doing this. And what do? They take you down to your next bottom pivot point, which is 238.88. It was 238.88 right to the penny. And when we got it, Grandpa's singing, because I don't know for sure, is 238.88 our new bottom pivot point? Well, I'm telling you, it was our new bottom pivot point. Now, I'm going to read the bottom pivot points to you. They're always higher than the one before. Okay, because the dominant trend is down. We're looking for a new low bottom pivot point. Okay. But we're moving up. We're moving up. Well, but we're going to go down and get our new bottom pivot point here shortly. Okay, so here you have 182. These are the bottom pivot points. 182. Then the next one is 202.36. Then the next one is 212.11. Then the next one is 238.58. What does Grandpa think the next bottom pivot point that we're searching for right now is? I'm going to tell you, right around the 257 area. Could it be 265? Could it be 260? Yes. But I think it's going to be 257. Just because I think that's going to be real close to our next new bottom pivot point. Trading is reactive, not predictive. So I don't want to predict 257. It's Grandpa's opinion. Okay? That's Grandpa's opinion. And Grandpa's a little crazy. Okay, now let's look at our top pivot points. Where they made top pivot points. And the other thing about it is, more often than not, when they make a top pivot point or a bottom pivot point, I would say a strong 70% of the time, if not more, they make them when we can't even trade. They make them very often when not even between 7 a.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? They make them after 8 o'clock at night and before 7 a.m. in the morning. Much like they did with the 367.20, which is our top pivot point. We are looking for a new bottom pivot point right now, okay? You are looking for a new bottom pivot point right now, and I'm telling you, 321.40 is not that number. The choices that you got for a bottom pivot point are 285, in Grandpa's opinion, a possibility of 285, 270. We're gonna, Grandpa could be wrong about 257. It might be 270. That's the problem we got. Buy some shares at 270, but save some gunpowder for 257, okay? And now, what do I see? When we hit our new bottom pivot point this time, okay, last time we hit our new bottom pivot point, we went from 238.88 to 367.20, and we went there fast. When we get our new bottom pivot point, and Grandpa thinks it's going to be the 257, okay, area. I'm not God. I can't call it to the penny, but in the 257 area, okay, pick your poison for buying. When we hit the 257 area, we're going to blow through 367. It's going to make a higher top pivot point. Bare minimum of somewhere in the 390 to 400 range, possibly even bounce off that 415, our previous all-time high of Tesla. 414.50 is our all-time high, and I can see him going through it some shortly. So, and Tesla moves so fast. They'll gap you down overnight $10, $15, $20 when they do the rug pull on you. Don't get caught up here. Don't. Buy a share here and there. We're all bullish for the future. And 6 months from now, we could be inching towards $700 a share. Who knows where we'll be? 500, 700, 1,000. Okay, in six, 7 months from now. Once they start getting those regulations, these analysts, I watch them. They know that Elon's coming in. They know that the WICK's going to help them. Rand Paul, also the senator, he's done extensive work on the costs of all the government agencies and all that sort of thing. And he's going to be working with these guys as a senator, sharing his info with them. Okay, so Rand Paul is involved to some degree, but just because he's done so much work on this subject, okay, in the past, but he's he's been under Democratic control, and but he has the data. He has the data. But anyway, what I'm getting at is the analysts, they haven't grasped. A bunch of people figured out early on here that when Elon starts cutting these regulations, Tesla is going to just massively be able to do things quicker than they've ever been able to. Full self-driving is going to be easier for them to attain now, much quicker. Optimus is going to be all the restrictions that they've been under, all the regulations are going to be eased up so much for Tesla. And our economy is going to be looking brighter under our new administration, and people are going to get bullish, and this thing is going to fly, okay? But the market makers are still going to do their game no matter what. back and forth with their high pivot points and their low pivot points. And we need to understand that, okay? And I hope what I'm saying makes sense for you. As far as today, I and I could be wrong about this. I see a low today potentially of 314 for today, and a high of 347. I hope it goes to 347 because I was short like I'm insane, because I believe that we are going to go bare minimum to 270 and most likely 257. So if you have a few shares, and don't blame Grandpa, if you say you have some shares at 340 and you want to sell them and reposition down at 300 or 285 or 270 or 257, go for it. But if you do, put your buy-in in advance and just wait for it, so that you don't forget to do it when the day comes. You might be busy cutting wood, or who knows what you might be doing, driving truck. But if you do it, and you bail out of your shares, and this thing goes to $700 next 3 days, don't blame Grandpa. Grandpa is giving Grandpa's opinion. But I see a pattern here. 267.20 is your new high pivot point, and we are looking for a new bottom pivot point, and it's coming. Pick your poison. 285, 270, 257. That's the choices that Grandpa sees, is anything that would be. And I'm telling you right now, I'm leaning towards 257 big time. Current price of Tesla is 328.65. They do the same thing every time. We got a higher low. We got a higher low. That's bullish. We got a green day. We're green by a few cents or within a penny. And shortly after that, we're on our way down. And then they stagnate you for a little bit. They give you a ray of hope on the way down. And again, we're off to the races. And the races to 257. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I'll tell you, anywhere you buy Tesla is a buying opportunity. So I don't want you to be depressed here. And I want you to do well. Hey, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about Grandpa. When it gets to 257, remember, Grandpa said, oh, well, I suppose it might turn at 258, and then you'll be upset with Grandpa. Pick your poison, okay? It's hard to pick the exact bottom or the exact top, okay? And you don't need to. But you need to know the direction. And the direction is coming the direction's coming real quick. We've got our sign. They do the same things over and over and over. there's a pattern to what these bad boys are doing. This thing is the market is, I'm telling you, is you're playing against a supercomputer designed to take your money. And that supercomputer is so powerful that it pays attention every time you make an order. It knows where everything you got is at. The only safe thing you can do is when you buy your share, keep it in a cash account and just keep it. And because your future is bright, you have nothing to worry about. We're going to 7,000, 10,000 and beyond per share. Okay. So just have a cash account and keep your share, and don't let the up and down of the pivot point bother you. But if you're a day trader, you got to be on top of this stuff, because this is how they take 97% of the day traders are losers. And the reason, they're not stupid, they're not dumb guys, they're extremely intelligent, but they get caught in the same trick over and over and over again. And they have margin accounts, and so if they go long at the wrong place and they get their rug pulled, they've got to bail and take the loss. You want to go long down, and by the time you know it's your new bottom pivot point, they've already moved it back up 30, 50 bucks. Okay, so you have to anticipate the new bottom pivot point. That's Grandpa's conclusion. Hey, Grandpa concluded something. And remember, always remember, trading is reactive, not predictive. But Grandpa does a lot of calculating to give his opinion. And there's something to be seen by what they've done in the past. Okay, so we're dipping down here a little bit in Tesla. Whoopie doopie. Whoopie doopie. Let's see, 328.35 area. And yeah, I think we're gonna close just 330.24. We closed in the green yesterday, up about $1.10, something like that. We're going to, I think we're going to close right at it, just about, within pennies, most likely in the green. Okay, hey, guess what? Think about eternity. Think about eternity once in a while. Grandpa does. Bye-bye.